Okay, so just doing a follow-up video. I did a video about a day ago, whenever, yeah, it was a day and a half ago, or 2 days ago, whenever we had the monthly close. I said, 30K is probably a thing of the past unless we get some sort of swan event, but I still highly likely we don't. Um, so 30K Bitcoin probably never get that low again. Based on historical data, we got a monthly close 2 times above the prior high. So again, it's unlikely that we'll ever see Bitcoin even wick below 40K again. So we're kind of in a range right here between 45 and 50, say 58. I mean, it's a big swing. That's about 25, 30%. Uh, but if you wanted to take a position now, I mean, really the position to take was whenever we dipped here. So we had this 9. We didn't retest it. I did mention that in the last video that we hadn't retested it, so it was a possibility that we could have gone lower. So you kind of would have, we were consolidating, and then you can kind of break down. I mean, and then we broke down. So you could have set a buy there. This kind of was, the buy area. The RSI, I believe, had went overbought again, or very close to it, right here. So we got this like bullish divergence. We even got on a longer time frame. So we got here where the RSI was increasing and the price was going down. And then we had that monthly close. That historical data says we weren't going to go back below 40. When did this happen? This happened on February 28th, and we kind of bounced up right here March 1st. So, I mean, once we got that monthly close above 40, you could have, you know, basically here any time in the morning between 45 and 46K, you could have entered the position. Today we did, we kind of broke down a little bit. We closed below this 30 MA, which has been a good area to enter and exit trades if you're looking at short, kind of swing trade or trade on a shorter time frame. And we're kind of just consolidating. Yeah, so I also did say that the 30 MA on the 4 hour has been support, and right now it's right at 46.9. If you're looking to enter, say you feel like you missed that entry here, you could have entered. You could enter maybe on one of these dips. Are we getting buyers here on the CMF? We kind of are. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see a large price swing anytime soon. The Bollinger Band width should be decreasing, and it has gone down, which means our volatility is going down. On the 4 hour, it's kind of flattened, and it probably the same on the hourly. Yeah, on the hourly as well. What is it doing on the weekly? On the weekly, it's coming down. So we're getting lower volatility, right? Historically, let's see, we've had higher volatility all the way back in 2017. This was the run up in the summer of 2019. So this is actually good because we need some consolidation. We need some consolidation, so that we start to build a good zone of resistance and buyers and people coming in, so we can make this next leg up. I would be a little cautious here. I mean, this area right here, this 41.5, say 41.7, is possible. But I'm going to stand by that, historical data saying, we're definitely not going to get below 30 again, and highly unlikely we're not going to ever see it below 40. So, if I'm here, I mean, what did I miss? If I didn't get in, on this dip, and I saw price run up, now I missed 10%. I missed 10% run up on a potential, I don't think this is the high. The high is, I think, somewhere around 100,000, anywhere between 100,000 and 300,000, just my opinion. So, I mean, you missed 10% on another 100% run up, potentially. And then what if, I mean, even if it isn't, say, there's another 30%. So you missed 10% on a potential, another 20% run up, possibly. But like I said, I would be cautious here. If we end up getting price below this 30, and then we have this intermediate, this 8-day close below the 30. So if you saw price go, say below 45K, and it did it for like a day, and it wasn't a quick, you know, dip and then increase in price, I would be a little worried, and or not worried, but I would be a little bit cautious, saying that, even though historical data says we're probably not going below 40 right now, that's true until it's not true anymore, and then we could get to these lower levels, maybe this 38 area, where we broke out. So that's kind of my outlook for Bitcoin. Before I said, oh, we would get some consolidation. Um, I think we're getting some consolidation. I mean, we're getting consolidation between these Fibonacci areas, right? This 45 and 58. Yeah, that's a big area, but that's what the chart's giving me right now. If I'm looking for little breakout areas, then I'm going to go on the hourly. I'm going to trade my 30 MA because I know it's profitable. You can look at the CMF and see that it's kind of trending up. There's flat price with CMF trending up. This could indicate we're going to go back up to this, 48.5 area. If that's a short trade that you're looking at, that's 1%. I mean, it's not a large move, right? So if you're looking for a large move, I think it's gonna be a couple of days, if not a couple of weeks. I would love to see Bitcoin consolidate, and just build a really, really nice support area for, another 2 to 3 weeks at least. Get a little boring, have people start to short it, see this funding rate go net short. It's already decreased, right? Let's see what it looked like before, when it, back in 2017, whenever it went net short. So even here, it kind of consolidated a little bit. This was a 16-week, maybe here, it consolidated, had a, what is this? That's a 23% drop. That's not really consolidation. But those were large sell-offs, right? We already had the large sell-off. We already pulled back 26%. Yeah, the windows in Bitcoin, whenever you're in bull cycles, the window to buy the dip is not that small. I mean, it's not that large. It's very, very small. Usually it's a couple of days, maybe a week, but then it starts to go back up fairly quickly. I can bring up that Lucid SAR to show you that. It broke it. Let's see, it broke it here. No, I'm sorry. It broke it here, and that was the dip. That was by the dip. It didn't really break it here, and I think I showed this on the last video. It broke it here, and then the next week is already back up 44%. There isn't large windows for you to buy the dip. I mean, this is a drop. We essentially, from where we were to where we are now, we essentially dropped 17%. So if you think Bitcoin's going higher, you're getting it at a 17% discount, right? Like I said, I would only start to be cautious in my position if we end up getting like a day right around 45 that closes below 45 for an extended amount of, for say a day or two, and it's not a quick, dip and then back up. So, I mean, yeah, we're already starting to rally a little bit here. It's a 1% candle, but we're going to these upper areas. So let's see how this goes. I'll pull up the RSI real quick. I mean, if you're looking for a position, in my opinion, it's going to range here. Going off the historical price action, we should not see below 40 again, which would be, even if we did get that low, that's a 13% drop. So you're like a 13% drop to a 20%. That's not really 2 to 1. You try to take trades that are, at least 3 to 1 or 5 to 1 in your favor. This is really like a 1 to 1. So it's like a 50-50 almost. Maybe a little bit better, maybe like a 60-40. As far as having maybe price, pull back and get back to this little lower areas, these maybe sub, between 40 and 45. So yeah, we're in a trading range. I'm definitely neutral. I'm not going to be bullish on higher, prices. Maybe it's a little bit of a cop out, but if we get, say, above 53 or 52, just say 53. If we get above 53K on a daily basis, we'll probably get to a new all-time high. What I don't want to see, I don't want to see like it come up to like 55 and then start to fail again, because that's the classic, secondary peak, and then maybe it's the end of the cycle. But I don't. I mean, I don't think it is. I think the peak for this cycle is somewhere around 100 to 300K. So yeah, so that's about it. I'll pull up the Mayor multiple bands just real quick. We're kind of below this lower band. I did say that maybe that's the new normal with Bitcoin as far as these Mayor multiple bands work. Before, as soon as we had broken out above, into this red area, it reached the upper band within, say 60 days, within 2 months. We broke above it, we went down. It's starting to trend up. We got extremely close here at the time. Whenever we broke out, 60K was the peak. We got to 58. We broke out here around, let's see, what was the peak at this time whenever it broke out? Around 90K. So maybe within the next 2 months, we're at 90K. What's this? What's today's date? March. Let's see, May. So May, before like early May, maybe we're at 90K, right? So yeah, that's about. I'll pull up this Willy Woo chart again. That shows your top where it's saying around 100. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you have to realize too, whenever it's the top, the time frame, just like dips, the time to sell the top is going to be very small. The dips, the time to buy the dips are going to be very small. I mean, I can just show you back in 2017 what that looked like to sell the top. It's not like you had a bunch of time. You know, everyone likes to get out right at the peak, but I can't go back that far. Trading Views only let me go back to January 2018, which is weird. I mean, you didn't have much. Look, I mean, you had, obviously the top happens in a day, but you kind of had, well, maybe you had one. No, you had one. So you had a while because it hit 19,697 and then went back up. So you had from like December 7th to like December 17th, or maybe even like 19th. So you had like a week. But the absolute top, you have such a small amount of time. And you don't, no one knew that that the bull market was over until it was over. Kind of like here, whenever this pulled back all the way to 14, secondary top, and then that's it. So, but right now, I think we're mid-cycle. Like I said, I'm definitely personally not financial advice. I'm in the positions holding that we're never going to see below 40K again. I got in lower. I got in right around 45. I didn't wait for this break because we got that monthly close and I was ready to go. So yeah, we're seeing whenever you see these ones, that's like no trade zones. But so that's about it. I'll go over TLRY. There was an opportunity to take a position. It did run up a lot today, and then it sold off. There's kind of a lot of uncertainty right now in this. It looks relatively weak. With the CMF, there was some uptick at the end of the day, but if I go back to the daily, you're getting this trend down. You're getting this cluster of moving averages, meaning that there's a lot of indecision, and we could start to break down here. So you would kind of wait until you start to see, and we're on a TD9 as well on the weekly, so maybe it runs up, towards the end of the week. We only have 3 more days, whenever you include tomorrow to trade, and then we have a 9, and then this is a no trade zone. So you would really look for a breakout above 30 in order for it to make potentially another run. AMC, because I talked to that before, we're trending up again. Indecision with the first 2 days of the week trading. This was an 8. It's now a 7. I would stay out of AMC. The positions I was in, I got out of. I really don't like that it's a meme stock, and I don't like how it's consolidating. Yeah, maybe it peaks up, but as of right now, there's just, I mean, maybe we get some consolidation, and then maybe I would consider taking a position. But right now, it's just too much indecision. Anything else? Yeah, silver and gold would just look horrible. There's a lot of talk in the with all this debt that's being issued and the bond rates going up, what how the Fed's going to handle all this, how the central bank's going to handle all this to kind of keep everything, all the basically inflation from going wild. So in that view, if inflation starts to starts to really show up, there could be some more. There could be some more measures taken by the Fed to control the rates, because if you have inflation and then you have increasing rates and there's a massive amount of debt, you have a real issue servicing that debt. So, if they try to manipulate the interest rates and the bond market to keep those rates low, then that could be really good for Bitcoin. But as of right now, the interest rates are going up. That could have been maybe a little bit of fuel or not fuel, but a damper on, Bitcoin as far as the price pullback. I mean, it needed a pullback in general, but that could have, aided the pullback being so aggressive. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. That's about it. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments. But thanks for watching.